Cyberspace Moles is beginning to do the same thing that I do to you lot, which is uploading videos too quickly to keep up. She has released No Defense Zone Consensual Vulnerability. I think we all know how Mim feels about Sylus at this point. And No Defense Zone is one of the only Sylus cards that I do not have. So the instant that gets rerun, the credit card is coming out to play. But this is 33 minutes. Okay. Right, well, good thing at hubby made me a coffee. So, with that note, let's get straight into it.
No Defense Zone. I don't see it as just a fan service card.
I mean, it's definitely
Even
a
though
fan
lot of
service
people tend
card.
to write it off that way. Personally, I feel like that's doing a huge disservice to the writers.
Uh-huh.
In this case,
Tell
I
me
think
more.
the writers do an excellent job of establishing where Sylus and MC are at this point in their relationship.
This was his first card, so we were very early into the relationship. All I learned is he's into BDSM and
At its core, No Defense Zone uses a metaphor of taming to explore how true intimacy requires both parties to abandon power games and enter a space of mutual vulnerability. Through repeated dialogue and actions that shift meaning with context, the memory reveals that for MC, the real risk isn't loving Sylus. It's letting herself be loved by someone who already sees everything she's afraid to show. To understand No Defense Zone, we must first understand where Sylus and MC stand.
I want to talk about this a little bit. I think Sylus and MC are genuinely in a really good position in their relationship right now, because like when they first started, obviously they first met, taking out the myths, they first met in the main story, and MC shot him, you know. It was a very bad time because it was very framed that, you know, he was responsible for the death of Josephine, aka Grandma, and Caleb, who we didn't know had survived until later on in the game. So obviously MC was like, "Oh, my family's deaths. You're behind them, right?" And things like that. But their relationship very quickly, I think, got out of the like enemies to lovers trope. Because, like, Sylus is the definition of a slow burn in Love and Deepspace, and this is one of the many things I think I love about him. This is one of the reasons I got so irritated when I saw people kicking off that Caleb got his kiss card very quickly with MC versus Sylus. You have to remember that in this current timeline, Caleb and MC grew up together, and there was obviously tension between those two already in that sort of way. So of course it would make more sense that MC in this current timeline would naturally gravitate, no pun intended, towards Caleb more because she had more time to build that connection with him. Sylus, you know, he was as forceful as he was because he was trying to get MC to remember their past together, and obviously he's realizing now she's not going to, so he's now focusing on building new memories, which is why he constantly makes references to till Doomsday arrives and creating new memories. And Sylus's recent wedding card, Alternative Nightborn, is completely the perfect example of that, where he says, "I want to create more memories of us," because he wants to not replace the memories that they had, but build new ones. And it is such a big turning point for them in the relationship.
We can assume this memory comes sometime after the tender moment Razor's grip.
Oh, I need to react to
MC
that.
is still actively avoiding Sylus. She has been blocked on her Moments account, though notably not on her actual phone. This selective blocking reveals her internal conflict. She wants distance, but not complete separation. When Sylus convinces her to accompany him on an errand that predictably ends in a shootout, he delivers one of the most direct declarations of his feelings.
There's never a dull moment when you're around.
Wait, which
Idiots provoke me every now and then, but they don't have your courage. Which means you've come to a realization, right?
He does look good in that. I'm just looking at his hands.
You should know very well that I adore you. There is no love purer than mine.
Okay, that's confirmed it. We are reacting to Razor's Grip next week. I don't care. I need to react to that. Seriously, bringing someone to a gangster meeting is how you show your affection?
You weren't enjoying yourself? I thought you were having the time of your life.
Absolutely, because I was looking at you, mate.
Don't I get a thanks, at least? Showing your gratitude through your actions also works.
Come here, I'll give you a kiss. Can I hit you?
Violence should be used strategically.
This isn't your typical love confession. It's presented as fact, as inevitable as their shared soul. Sylus believes she should already feel this through their connection. After all, they are two halves of the same soul. His love doesn't exist outside of her, it already exists within her. He's simply waiting for her to recognize and accept it.
Yeah.
But that's exactly where the tension lies.
You can't show me that scene again.
Not that MC doesn't feel something for Sylus.
You can handle it.
It's that she can't yet accept what those feelings mean. The version of Sylus she can handle is the manipulative crime boss, not the man who speaks softly and loves her with absolute certainty.
No, not that one.
Accepting that Sylus, the leader of Onychines, an organization fundamentally opposed to everything she's sworn to protect, is in love with her, would mean confronting the possibility that not only is he sincere, but that she wants him too. And
Yeah, it makes her life a bit
wanting him would
complicated.
force her to lower her guard. Even when he says, "Idiots provoke me every now and then, but they don't have your courage," he's elevating MC above everyone else in his world. It reveals how he sees most
I didn't think
people
of it
as
like that.
beneath him and unworthy of his attention. But MC stands out because she challenges him, talks back, and refuses to be intimidated.
In other words, she is a major brat and Sylus feels the urge to dominate.
He's clarifying that it's not just because of their connection. He loves her for who she is.
And we love
Those
him
qualities
for
make
it.
her magnetic to him. So with their dynamic in mind, let's deconstruct what's really happening in No Defense Zone and why it's written the way it is.
I don't think I don't
Not
guys. I don't think I have the strength to go through that card
a
again.
moment of flirtation or fan service, but as a metaphorical exploration of what it means to
The fact that
tame
this was his
and
debut
be
card
tamed
as well.
in the context of love.
Tamed.
Before we dive into the analysis, here's a quick refresher of what goes down in this memory.
Duh.
MC wins a bet against Sylus, claiming his most precious ride as her prize. She expects
I
him to
can be the
furious.
ride.
After all, she just won his prized motorbike. But to her annoyance, Sylus barely reacts. He's far more captivated by a sleek black Akalteke horse he won in a different bet.
Yeah.
This indifference gets under MC's skin, and she ups
I've
the
actually,
stakes.
fun fact, I actually used to ride horses when I was younger. Like, I genuinely wanted to be like a professional horse rider at one point. So I did actually get pretty far. You know, I was doing jumping and stuff like that. But money became a problem as Mimmy got older. I've ridden Akalteke horses before. They are some of the most stunning creatures in this world, and a pure black one, mate. Give me.
If the motorbike means nothing, then fine.
She'll take the
He
horse.
can either hand over the new horse or drop to his knees and call her his queen. It's important to note that she stumbles when
Yes,
she
please.
says this, not fully being confident in herself.
Uh-huh.
Sylus, never one to back down from a challenge, proposes a new bet. If MC can ride the horse for 100 meters, he'll do exactly as she asked and bow to her, horse and all. What follows
Sorry,
is
my
classic
brain
MC
is
and
going
Sylus.
to the back.
Friction,
It's going to the
tension, and
cellar
sudden
at the
pride on both
moment.
sides. MC tries brute determination at first, but the horse resists her every effort. Eventually, she shifts tactics, abandoning dominance in favor of empathy. She offers the horse an apple and strokes it gently, and for a moment it works. Just as she's about to cross the finish line and win the bet, Sylus whistles. The horse turns around and trots right back to him.
Yeah.
MC is furious. He cheated. But Sylus, smug as ever, claims she still doesn't have what it takes to truly tame it. Later that night, MC dozes off in Sylus's living room and has an intimate dream of him.
Oh,
In the
yeah.
dream, he's kneeling, bound,
She's
and
not the
vulnerable.
only one.
When she wakes up, Sylus teases her just enough to make it clear he knows what she dreamed. As she prepares to leave, Sylus casually mentions that both their bikes are mysteriously out of commission. MC demands a ride home on the horse. Sylus obliges, and with a smirk ends the memory with the line,
As you command, my queen.
at the store.
Sorry. We're not even 10
surface, taming seems to be the central metaphor.
This is what Sylus
There's
does
the
to me.
literal taming of a black Akalteke horse, a wild and prideful creature that resists control. MC
They are
is challenged
assholes
to
to
ride this
ride.
horse, but the horse is only a mirror. And not just of Sylus, as you're probably expecting.
I'm about to turn the fan
The
on.
horse is a symbol for both of them. The horse immediately does not trust MC as she forces her way into its space and tries to mount it. MC believes this is the right way to tame it. Dominant force, not giving the horse
Don't
a
go that
choice.
fucking high,
She
Jesus.
believes showing it she's stronger than it will force it to submit to her will.
That is an interesting point. I did not think of that, and I'm going to make my own personal comment on the situation, right? So I think during No Defense Zone, MC was still kind of figuring out where she was standing in her relationship with Sylus, because they kind of swap, right? Now, this is why I say I think Sylus is a massive pleasure dom / switch character, because he takes turns taking control and then letting MC have control. The only time that he's really not allowed MC to have control when she's wanted it was in the Night of Secrecy card. Now, I'm sure Cyberspace Moles will probably make a video on that card in the near future. So when and if they eventually do, I would love to react to that. But what I find so interesting about Cyber's videos is the fact that she's completely unique in the Love and Deepspace space. You know, she does. There's not a lot of people who go into the psychology side of things. I've said this in previous videos before. Okay, now I'm too cold. I think Cyber has got a very unique style of video where she focuses more on the psychological side than the actual gameplay of it. She looks into the things that we might not see. And I think that's one of the beauties of Love and Deepspace. We've all been through different things and different experiences, which means we will interpret things differently. Now, fun fact, apparently kinks can be genetic, as in you can technically inherit them from your parents. And I'm going to be blunt online, right? I am a kinky fucker in the bedroom, right? Both me and Kate are switches and we take turns being in control. But I'm kind of like MC, where when me and Kate were first, together, I didn't really know whether he was more on the control side or whether I was more on the control side. So I think that's one of the reasons that No Defense Zone definitely was a very big card for me with regards to reactions. Because I have never done anything like that myself, disclaimer, but I would be interested. Now, don't get me wrong, I would not do anything that would make my husband uncomfortable, but I just find the whole concept fascinating. Plus the fact that is the card that Infold chose to release Sylus with. They were setting expectations high from minute one. I think we were all very highly anticipating Sylus when he first dropped, for those of us who played the game before Sylus dropped. And I think one of the reasons that Sylus has continued to be my top favorite man for me is personally because he ticks every single box that I have. The other love interest ticks a lot of the boxes, don't get me wrong, but Sylus is the only one who ticks everything. And for me, I feel a much deeper emotional connection to him than I do with the others. Now, if you were to say, oh, Mim, what's your tier list? That bloody changes every bloody time I record a video. So that's one of the reasons why I've not done a tier list yet, because the truth is, I'm still deciding, because this game is so good at growing on the characters, and that's what I think Love and Deepspace does differently than other gachas, and this is probably one of the reasons I personally think it is consistently high performing, is the regular updates and the fact that instead of bringing in all these new characters like other games like, Zenless Zone Zero, Genshin, Withering Waves, other games like this where they're constantly bringing in new characters, Infold are just diving deeper into the characters that we've already built a connection with. And as far as I know, if there's any gachas that also do that, like, Tears of Famous and stuff like that, please let me know, because it's the only game I've played like this. That is such a unique concept to me, and that's one of the reasons I keep playing the game. I have genuinely not taken a break from Love and Deepspace since I picked up the game nearly a year ago on this channel. And Love and Deepspace videos are one of the videos that I know that I can upload and record, and that video will consistently do well. Maybe not as well as I would like, granted, but I know I'm going to definitely get at least one comment on it. There are some videos I upload and I don't get any comments on it, but then I will upload like one of these videos, which you guys have been asking for, and I can get so many. And I'll be like, I'll literally upload a video, go to bed, wake up the next morning and think, fuck, you guys have popped off overnight. Because a lot of you guys are in the States. I'm in the UK. You guys are probably like 6 hours behind me. Plus, depending on what state you're on. So it's interesting to me that, you know, Love and Deepspace is going the direction it's going. Now, I got a lot of people saying, oh, I can't wait for the sixth love interest. I can barely keep up with fucking 5, mate!
Quickly learns that this is not the case.
You're lucky I
It's
don't
a
like picking
similar
on the
approach to her
weak
dynamic
kitten.
with Sylus. She sees Sylus as an intimidating, powerful presence.
Oh, yeah.
So in her mind, she always has something to prove to him that she can match his perceived dominance.
I'm not
It
complaining about the
manifests in a
dominance.
performance of power, rather than her genuinely knowing she is powerful. And just like the horse, Sylus often sees through her performance, always pushing her just a little bit further to truly know the power she holds over him. Another hint that MC isn't being honest is when she stumbles when she tells Sylus to drop to his knees and call her his queen. She stumbles because she's only playing with the idea that she's powerful and commanding. And of course, Sylus sees through it.
He's very
Now,
good at reading.
imagine there's a space between Sylus and MC, a zone if you will. In this zone, both of them need to enter with no weapons and no armor. A zone of total mutual vulnerability
Yeah, I
and
love that
trust.
cutscene.
Sylus has already stepped into this place a few times. The first time, he forced MC towards him in this space, trying to force her to remember him and resonate with him.
Yeah.
He had his weapons drawn. Then he stepped back when he realized this was completely the wrong approach.
Exactly.
He realized
he
he had to
adapted.
demonstrate a reason for MC to trust him. So he dropped his weapons and showed her complete vulnerability. And he simply waits for her to come to him.
I think another thing to point out as well, again, the third myth for Sylus might blow this theory completely out the water, so this is probably going to age poorly. But in my personal opinion, right, during his Conqueror myth, this was after Sylus and MC had already established a connection. In the Dragon myth, and as much as I hate saying this, because every time I talk about the Dragon myth, it gets me emotional, Sylus was on his own. He didn't have any sort of positive human reactions. The only positive human reaction he ever had was from MC, really. So, you know, after he was cast into the abyss and MC was the only person to show him love and compassion, he probably doesn't really know how to adapt to people. And my personal evidence for that is during the wedding card when he's talking to the kid and he's smiling at the kid trying to give her back the balloon. The kid starts crying because she's intimidated. Now granted, Sylus is a tall bulky man, so yeah, obviously he's naturally going to come across as intimidating, but he's trying to learn, and he mentions practicing his smile, and that to me is suggesting that outside of speaking to MC and maybe Luke and Kieran on the odd occasion, he doesn't really have many positive interactions. And obviously we've seen him being in his mafia boss persona. So my personal opinion, I think he's just genuinely not the best when it comes to dealing with other humans. Like, you guys see me online, you think I'm amazing with people. I am absolutely not. I am terrible at face-to-face situations. The reason that all my jobs have been on the phone is because they don't have to see me, they only have to hear me. So a lot of my confidence I have developed over the last couple of years has all been just because I've been talking in front of a camera. Now, if one of you lot were to see me in real life and start talking to me, I would probably panic and not be sure if you want a hug or whether you want a signature or I'm gonna cry. I don't know, because I have not, thankfully. I've only been recognised in public once, and that individual was nice enough to keep hush about it. And the only reason I know was because they DM'd me and said, I didn't know you lived there. And I was like, please don't leak that, because I don't need tons of people coming over to my house. But that's my theory. But
He's
the
there,
third myth
ready
could
to
blow
be
me out
claimed,
of the...
But only if MC
ready
does
to be
the
claimed.
same thing as him.
Whew!
MC, however, is still circling this space, unsure of if she can enter and drop her guard.
Yeah.
The few times MC does enter this space, it's with her weapons drawn and shields up.
She's naturally
but
defensive,
Sylus
which
won't
makes
give her
sense.
anything until she drops them like he has.
Exactly.
So think of it as Sylus stepping back ever so slightly to show her that he's totally vulnerable, and she's the perceived threat now. Now, with that being said, if MC never trusts him fully, then Sylus has claimed he will completely step back from this space, as we learn in the tender moment, Razor's Dance.
Again, another card I've not reacted to.
Why don't we make a bet?
Huh?
If I come back safe and sound, I'll disappear from your life. I won't pester you ever again.
I need to pick up on my tender moments. I am missing so much stuff. Jesus! We're not even
And if
10
I
minutes
don't
in and this
return?
video's already 21 minutes long. Fucking A.
Well, no one will pester you again either way.
Right, Mem, stop
does that
ranting.
sound?
Sylus finishes loading the last bullet and looks up at me. You brought me all the way to this villa just to tell me that?
This could be our last conversation, Miss Hunter.
What's interesting about Razor's Dance is that by the end, MC realizes that she needs Sylus in her life in some way. While she never outright says she cares about him and worries about him, she commands that he stays by her side, almost like the queen that she wants to be in Sylus's eyes. And Sylus makes an interesting point. MC is the only one who has ever been bold enough to issue commands. Because it comes from a place of total vulnerability from MC, he accepts it. It's an interesting exchange worth remembering and considering when we look at MC's actions in No Defense Zone against it.
I'm someone who honors a bet. I said I'd disappear completely, so I have to tie up loose ends.
That bet was a joke. I never even agreed to it. Huh.
A joke. I'll take your word for it.
Huh. You're not allowed to make those kind of bets again in the future. And you're not allowed to disappear again either.
You're the first person who dared to tell me what I can and can't do.
I'll do it again in a minute. I'm just going to say this as well. During the Valley Bloom card as well, he mentions you're getting better at bossing me around. This has been an ongoing trend for a few cards, huh?
Your gun was very helpful. So, as a return gift, I accept your terms. You're the one who ran into me this time. I don't think it counts as me pestering you, right?
MC's initial attempts to subdue the horse fail in No Defense Zone, not because she lacks strength, but because she applies the wrong kind of power. What finally works is a combination of empathy, patience,
So in a way,
and gentle
Sylus is the
persistence,
horse.
a method that mirrors how Sylus
That also
is
means I can
approaching
ride him.
her.
That makes me...
It's a clever reflection. While she tries to tame a wild horse, Sylus is doing the same with her, but without ever overtly saying so. He teases, provokes, even frustrates, but always in a way that protects her agency. His love is not a cage. It's an open door waiting for her to walk through it freely. In the Secret Times audio Approaching Dusk, Sylus even lays out how he does this with MC, and in turn, how she can really tame him.
Oh, please don't tell me we're... No! This is one of the main Secret Times that I struggle to stay PG-13 on. Not that I mark my videos as PG-13, granted, but I am trying to limit my swearing, believe it or not.
Firm grasp on your pride. You should first lower his guard and get used to your intrusions.
Yow!
You tell him your heart's desire. He's a good boy. You reward him.
Get over here, buddy.
You reveal your vulnerable side to him.
When you look through all of Sylus's previous interactions with MC,
Yes.
this is exactly what he does with her.
I can't think straight after that. Oh, Lord. If you want to see my original reaction to that, we actually reacted to it live on stream, so go check out the Secret Moments playlist. It'll be there.
The title No Defense Zone then takes on a new weight. It isn't a reference to a neutral battlefield or an emotional ceasefire. It's a destination, a state of being where both people are completely unguarded. No weapons, no pride, no games. Just the truth.
I don't know, we were
For
toying
Sylus,
with him a
that
bit.
zone is where he already lives. He has already told her he loves her. He knows they are bound. He has nothing to hide. But for MC, entering that space means confronting a lifetime
I'm sorry,
of
the way that he
emotional
looks at MC's
It
lips
means
before
admitting
kissing
she
her
wants
every
something
time
she
makes me
cannot
melt.
control. It means
Also, I
stepping
need to
into
pull my
the
top up because it
open
looks
and
like I'm
trusting
topless.
she will not be
And
hurt.
you will not be happy with me on that.
Her guardedness is not a flaw. It is a defense born of experience. And Sylus meets her where she is, gives her space to spar with him, to resist, and to feel safe. He never stops being his frustrating, smug self, but he also never oversteps. He never steals a moment she doesn't offer. That restraint is part of his strength. So taming is really about creating the conditions in which surrender feels safe and therefore meaningful. But here's what's interesting. As MC is trying to understand how she can tame the horse in order to ride it, Sylus says a few things.
Sorry, can we go back real quick? I need to hear that again.
MC is trying to understand how she can tame the horse in order to ride it.
Am I the only one whose brain is instantly going to 18
Sylus says a
plus?
few things in response to MC being more gentle with the horse.
Pandering will only cost you the initiative. Making enemies scared and nervous is the first step in taming.
Pandering here means trying too hard to please or appease, likely through softness or excessive kindness. In this view, being too gentle surrenders her authority. Fear, in his mind, is the tool that breaks resistance and asserts dominance. Sylus believes kindness invites weakness or failure in high-stakes interactions with wildness. We see this clearly in his birthday memory, Where Hearts Live. At the start
One of my
the memory,
favourites!
when they get to the wildlife park, a staff member wishes Sylus a happy birthday. When MC has spent some time with him viewing the wild animals and comparing himself to them, they leave the park. When a staff member wishes him a happy birthday again, Sylus has softened. Check these two scenes out together.
Good morning. Can you please show me your tickets? Alright, you can head in now. Here's your park navigational device.
The staff member hands me a tablet roughly the size of a
Oh,
phone.
it's your birthday today, sir. Happy birthday. Have a wonderful day.
Shouldn't you say something when someone wishes you a happy birthday?
Thanks.
Yeah, so that was his first time.
You can leave the navigational device here. I hope you two had a wonderful day at the park. Oh wait, here's a scratch card for you. Happy birthday!
Thanks.
MC is
Softened.
the only exception to this rule. But in Sylus's birthday memory, MC teaches him her method of taming him, gentleness and connection. This is what she does with the horse, which is why in No Defense Zone, Sylus gives her that warning. The approach does work, and MC is about to win the bet when Sylus whistles the horse back to him.
Yeah.
So why did he do this? Because MC starts to get cocky when she realizes she's about to win with her method. It's like she walked towards Sylus in their space, without her weapons or armor, only to suddenly draw out a concealed weapon and throw him off guard. He essentially tells her, once again, her approach must come from a place of true vulnerability and not luring someone into a false sense of security.
Interesting way of thinking about it.
After everything that happened on the horse track, things finally slow down. The scene moves into the manor's living room, where Sylus lights a fire and pours them both a glass of wine.
We do
It's
like the
quiet
wine.
and warm, even a little romantic. Cliché maybe, but intentionally so.
So someone stronger than
Of
that
course.
creature can tame it?
The weak submit to the strong, and the tamed bow to the tamer.
I bow to you, my lord. After finishing the second glass of wine, I grab Sylus by his collar as he goes to pour the third. Yes, please. I do love this man so much. It is unhealthy for me. So even someone like you can be tamed?
No one has ever associated that word with my name before.
At this moment, MC drags Sylus towards her in a show of power. She's forcing him into her space, not allowing him to enter willingly. She's assessing him closely, inspecting how honest he really is being. It's almost like she wants to find his weakness.
Yeah,
his eye, which
I
she could
agree.
easily use to reveal her true desires, faintly glows. He's not using it, but it insinuates the growing desire between them. And then comes Sylus's answer to her question. He's not outright denying that he can be tamed, because he knows MC has the power to do this to him. He leaves the door open with just a little bit of light for her. In this moment, they could have shared a kiss. The wine, the fireplace, the tension between them all made for a perfect moment to steal a kiss. However, Sylus gets up and moves away from her, sitting in an armchair across from her. Sylus doesn't assume that closeness equals permission to take it further.
He is the king of consent, and we love it.
Sylus is saying, "You're safe. I won't cross that line when you're like this." For a man like Sylus, who is so often seen in control of every room he's in, this is no small gesture. It's intimacy expressed through a kind of non-action. He chooses not to sit beside her. He chooses not to linger too close. And MC responds to that, not in words, but in the way her body gives in to sleep. For someone like MC, someone who spent the entire day negotiating power, asserting herself and proving her independence, that kind of space can be more intimate than a kiss.
I think the other thing as well, right, oh my god, we're not even 20 minutes. The thing that I like about Sylus as well is the fact that he is a consent king. Now, it's an ongoing thing, we've all said it, but I think it says a lot about Sylus as a character. And the reason I say it is because Sylus is a very I take what I want kind of vibe, right? He wants MC, he's gonna get MC. But saying that, there were multiple opportunities, both in like the secret times I've reacted to and the memories where he could have kissed MC. But the fact that the first kiss that we got was Night of Intimacy was when that control and that restraint burst for both of them, and it led to sexy fun time. But we had to wait nearly a year for that. So he has been constantly from, again, I could be misunderstanding this, but it seems to me that Cyber's like theory with this is the fact that basically Sylus has wanted MC to be completely 100% comfortable, so he shows her that he's not going to force himself on her. He just goes, okay, we're in the same room, I'm going to sit on the other side of the room and give her that space. And that is honestly a man who respects his woman. And this is not me dissing the other love interest before you lot go jumping down my throat. But Sylus definitely is the definition of a slow burn, and this is one of the things that I think I love about him, is the fact that he's letting MC set the pace of their relationship because he doesn't want to push her boundaries too much and make her uncomfortable. If she's going to submit to him and show him this vulnerability, he wants her to do it when she's comfortable. And that is honestly so much respect. I think some men in the real world could learn some lessons from this man.
He doesn't offer her a blanket and he doesn't tuck her in. And that's the point. Because any action in this moment would be too much. It would break the delicate trust they've begun to build. But just when it seems like the moment has settled, when MC appears to let go, curls into the chair and allows herself to rest, her inner monologue reminds us of the tension still pulsing beneath the surface. What a prick.
Yep.
Sooner or later, I'll make you beg for mercy.
Can we just appreciate, by the way, how Cyberspace just said prick? Absolutely love it.
Vulnerability.
As that is a common British phrase, is a common thing for a British girl to say.
And so even in sleep, her subconscious kicks in with fantasy dominance, a way to reclaim control. Not because she wants to hurt him, but because she needs to feel like she could, that she's not the only one falling. Because Sylus already gets under her skin.
Can you blame
She knows
him?
how much he affects her, but she's still not sure she can affect him the same way. Even knowing how deep
I need a second bond for Sylus now.
She has that kind of power. It's messy, it's human, and it makes perfect sense. The transition into the dream is so subtle that it barely registers. MC doesn't realise it at first because the setting is so familiar. A manner much like Sylus's, but darker. The only source of light comes from a half-open door ahead, throwing just enough light to pull her forward. It's the same door that Sylus left open for her earlier when he didn't outright deny that he couldn't be tamed. This dream space and the intimate framing of it isn't about domination. It's about vulnerability. It's about trust.
Sorry,
When it comes
Cyber's being all serious right now, and all my brain, I'm just seeing Sylus and that lighting and that outfit, and I'm just like,
Physical intimacy. The acts performed in this dream and in this type of setting require the highest level of trust between two consenting partners. This reveals that subconsciously, MC already associates Sylus
I didn't
with
expect to be
safety,
recording for over
even
30
in
minutes.
scenarios that involve power imbalance or restraint. This ties closely to the broader themes of intimate roleplay, which at their core are not about control for control's sake, but about negotiated power exchange built on communication, boundaries, and above all, trust.
Yeah,
In the
you've
dream,
got to
MC
really trust your
imagines
partner
Sylus
if you're
bound
going to
and
do this sort of
submissive,
stuff.
But the fantasy only works because she knows deep down that he is strong enough to withstand it and safe enough to play with vulnerability. The scene blurs the lines between dominance and surrender, but not in a way that's meant to degrade or humiliate. Instead, it explores what it means to be seen, to be desired, and to take up space emotionally. For MC, the fantasy allows her to try on power, to explore what it feels like to be in control after so often being emotionally disarmed by Sylus in real life.
Yeah, my emotions would
But
be
once
out the
again,
window.
Sylus is hard to tame. He teases and provokes her, and challenges her authority.
As a
Is she
brat
truly
does.
claiming her power over him, or is she still pretending? Let's break the scene down.
Oh god.
When MC says, "You need to show some spirit to tame a wild horse," she's borrowing his words from earlier on in the riding scene, because she's still trying to perform dominance
know
and
is
strength
that!
the way she thinks he would. But Sylus
This is why I can
neutralizes
never
her
do
challenge
analytics
again.
or like analyze this sort of thing, because this would go completely over my head. Also, can we talk about how there's still 11 minutes and I've already been recording longer than the fucking video?
Because she's still trying to perform dominance and strength the way she thinks he would. But Sylus neutralizes her challenge again. This mirrors how, in the horse scene, he teases instead of confronting, flipping the tension into something more emotionally ambiguous. He's not resisting, he's present. His excitement isn't about submission. It's about the intimacy of being
She's
chosen,
using two of my
seen,
best cards
and
against me.
accepted on her terms. When MC taps his cheek a few times with the crop, we see Sylus looking genuinely annoyed. The horse in the real-world memory resisted when she overexerted control. It bucked. This is Sylus's equivalent. Not full rebellion, just irritation. A sign that this isn't the kind of power that reaches him. He'll play along, but he won't fake emotion. This isn't what connects them. And that's when he drops the same line as MC earlier.
Provoking me is not a wise choice.
That role reversal is important. Now Sylus is warning her, not because he'll retaliate, but because provocation without emotional substance doesn't work.
Sorry, it's the way he's looking.
Sylus
And
also
I'm on-
says another
he's on my big screen as well, so like it's a lot more impactful when he's on the screen. Because when I used to record reactions, it used to be on this side, so I was looking kind of more like this way. Now I've got it positioned so I'm like looking this way, so on the camera it looks like I'm looking at the video. And I'm seeing him on a much bigger screen, and that means I am getting him hit much more, I'm getting hit a bit more.
Interesting quote.
How do you expect me to respond to your aimless flirtation?
Sylus isn't rejecting MC's attention, he's questioning the sincerity of it. Just like the horse rejected her earlier when she tried to fake confidence, Sylus is resisting the performance here. Aimless flirtation is just emotional posturing without presence. He's basically saying, if you're going to claim me, don't do it halfway. And then we get another line said by MC earlier on, now being said by Sylus.
As a tamer, don't be so stingy.
This line directly echoes what MC said in the real world scene. As a tamer,
I
I'm not as
did
stingy
not
as you.
clock this.
Only this time it's Sylus calling her out. She once accused him of withholding. Now he's telling her, you're the one not giving enough. In context, it's not about physical sensation. He's asking, if you want me, why are you holding back? Sylus is reflecting her own earlier accusation back at her, and now she's the one
Honestly,
who must
Cyber,
confront
you
her.
have done an amazing
And then
job
he
because you've
asks her
picked
to
up on
raise
so
the
much shit that
stakes.
went complete
He's not
over my
challenging
head.
her to be more brutal. He's challenging her to be real, to stop teasing at power and actually step into the full emotional risk of intimacy with him. Not hit harder, but go deeper. Then we get another callback.
Sorry.
This scene.
An angry hunter or a kitten holding a grudge?
This echoes the call me my queen 3 times bluff. Except here, it's less about teasing and more direct. She's reclaiming that fantasy, but it's still armor. Still a bid for emotional leverage, not emotional truth. She doesn't want the words, she wants proof that she has power over him. Not to use it, but to feel like she isn't the only one exposed. And Sylus throws her metaphor back at her, calling her the angry hunter from the earlier scene. He's telling her, you're fighting me, not because you want to win, but because you're scared to surrender. When MC kicks him to the floor, this looks like dominance, but Sylus's laughter undercuts it. He isn't humiliated, threatened, or even undone. He's still in emotional control. This moment mirrors the horse scene when MC finally gets the horse to listen, and then it immediately turns around and returns to Sylus.
Yeah,
The illusion
definitely.
of power dissolves. Sylus on the floor isn't defeated. Just like the horse, he isn't obeying, he's allowing. That's what makes MC's power here feel hollow. Because true taming, as we learned earlier, doesn't
That
happen
should have
through
been me.
force, it's offered by the one being tamed. It's offered in a space where both drop their guards. And then we get the emotional peak of the scene.
Is that all you've got? If you want to tame me, you'll need more than that. I don't mind spending the whole night with you.
Every time.
This is a moment that shatters the illusion that Sylus is the one being controlled.
Ah!
His eye glows red. Now he's seeing what she truly desires. The last time Sylus used this eye on MC was during the main story to bring out her desires and to tame her forcefully to his will. Sylus uses his eye not to only see her desires, but also to bring those desires out of her to the surface. In the beginning, when she tries to tame the horse, it's all about the illusion of power. But the moment Sylus calls the horse back, it's clear. She doesn't actually have control. In the dream, she tries again, this time with Sylus himself. She copies his tactics, uses his language, and takes physical control the way she thinks he would. But she's still performing, still looking for validation through borrowed power. And Sylus sees right through it. That's why he keeps holding back, until the moment he uses his eye to bring her true self out. And then
ends
comes
right
the morning
there.
after. MC wakes on the couch, vulnerable, groggy, and still in Sylus's presence.
Taking out
Sylus,
that last
as
bit,
always,
it's me
is
in the
one step
morning.
ahead,
Groggy.
casually teasing her about her dream, but never making her feel exposed. He is content to wait for her to reveal it on her own terms. And in the end, she does admit she dreamt about him. What's especially intriguing is that Sylus is hinting at the dream's content might not be a bluff. Given their soul connection, it's entirely possible that he didn't just guess, he saw it. In Chapter 8 of Beyond Cloudfall, MC says this: "Maybe I'm imagining things, but after half of our souls are exchanged, I've been dreaming of him more and more, sometimes even while awake. When I'm alone, I always see him by my side. Those visions, I can't tell if they really happened, if they're just my own fantasies, or if they're his. Or maybe I'm seeing the other half of his soul that's within me." This moment reframes the dream in No Defense Zone entirely. It may not have been a solitary private fantasy. It may have taken place in the shared psychic space between them, That
You mean we did this to him in real life?
liminal place where souls overlap and barriers
Yes,
dissolve.
please.
And if that's the case, then Sylus did see her desires.
Huh.
He witnessed her vulnerability, her fear, and her yearning to claim him.
I mean,
And
can
he still
you
chose not to
blame us?
use that to his advantage to get closer to her. We see a similar implication in the 5-star memory within reach, when MC reacts to a dream she had of tending to Sylus's injuries.
Yeah.
What were you looking for on my arm?
Yeah, because she does like that to his arm, and he's like, "Oh, are you gonna measure my arm too?" But you could tell from the way he looked at MC, he could tell there was something else going on. Nothing. I can't just tell him I was checking if he had wounds like what I dreamed before.
Let me guess. Injuries?
How did you know?
It wasn't the gaze for trying to find tattoos, sweetie.
I'm covered in them. Speaking of tattoos, Mephisto tattoo has now been designed. I just need the money to go and book in the appointment.
What one's thinking comes into one's dreams. Those aren't empty words, huh?
If No Defense Zone gets rerun, though, my wallet is going to
If there are more
scream from
happy
the
moments
abyss.
in your life, will you have more pleasant dreams?
And that again is referring back to memories. In our reflection, a hint of amusement flashes in his eyes.
Why don't we start today?
Sylus knows. He sees into her, not just with perception, but perhaps through the soul they now share. That makes his restraint in No Defense Zone even more powerful. He doesn't use the dream to push her. He doesn't demand a response from her. Because even if he's seen her truth, it still has to be her choice to live it out loud. No Defense Zone isn't really about who wins or loses, who tames or gets tamed. It's about recognizing that the most profound connections happen not when we conquer someone, but when we create a space safe enough for both people to choose vulnerability. The horse returns to Sylus not because he commands it, but because he's created the conditions where it feels safe to choose him. The dream shatters not because MC lacks power, but because she's still trying to wield borrowed strength instead of her own authentic desire.
Because
And
Impulse
Sylus
wanted to tease
waits,
us.
even when he could push, because he understands that love, real love, can only be given freely. Perhaps the most beautiful thing about their dynamic is that Sylus has already entered that no defense zone. He's standing there, weapons down, heart open, not demanding entry, but
Smart.
simply showing MC what it looks like to love without armor. And maybe that's what makes him truly untamable. Not his strength or his dominance, but his willingness to be completely defenseless in the face of love, trusting that when she's ready, she'll meet him there. Throughout the entire memory, MC has been performing power rather than truly claiming it. She stumbled when she first demanded he call her queen, because she didn't really believe she deserved the title.
And he did
But by the
call
end,
us.
she stopped trying to force dominance, and instead made a simple, honest request. She needs to get home, and she's asking for his help. There's no manipulation, no power play, just a genuine moment of allowing herself to need him. And that's when Sylus finally gives her the title she wanted, because now it's real. She's not demanding it from a place of insecurity or performance. She's simply existing in her own authority. It's also beautifully ironic. The moment MC stops trying to tame him is the moment he willingly submits. She gets what she wanted all along,
The
but only after
sneaky
she
bastard.
stops forcing it. Sylus has been waiting for her to step into genuine confidence rather than borrowed bravado. And when she finally does, even something as simple as asking for a ride, he recognizes it immediately. In the end, true taming isn't about controlling something wild. It's about becoming the kind of sanctuary that wildness willingly calls home.
Cyber. Why do you torment me so? Okay, right, let me just change over to my just chatting screen and then we'll talk about it and conclude this because this is already way longer than I intended. Okay, so my overall thoughts on that video, again, very interesting. And if you haven't already, please go check out Cyberspace Malls. She's actually, fun fact, she actually saw my last video and I'm not sure if I'm proud of it because, You'll know I get a little bit unhinged on this channel. We know this. She has made one for Hidden Motive, so I am going to be making a reaction to that one soon. So thank you guys for constantly keeping me updated. I actually do have the bell turned on for her, so I do get notified when she uploads a new video. I just need to somehow try and keep up with it. But yes, I genuinely really enjoyed that. I did not expect to be sat here recording for 50 minutes, but you know what? That is a sacrifice I am willing to make, because there was a lot of points in there that I wanted to personally touch on, because as we all know on this channel by now, I am a Sylus girly through and through, and I think it's going to be very difficult for any of the other love interests to top that. Like, I haven't felt Sylus's position be threatened once since I started this game. So really, it's like the other four are battling for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place at this point. Now, will the 6th love interest top Sylus? There is a possibility, because we don't know. But in my personal opinion, I don't think we are ready for a 6th love interest yet. I personally am struggling to deal with 5. If the info add another one to the mix, I am absolutely cooked. And if Sylus's next myth, or Zane's next myth, has long hair, my wallet's not going to handle. I don't think I'm going to make it after this next banner. It's already bad enough. I'm considering skipping Zane's birthday banner for the quote-unquote Sylus solo we're going to be getting after. And if Sylus gets a rerun for No Defense Zone, then the Mimby is going to be in a hell of a lot of trouble. Now, by the time you guys see this, it's going to be like first thing in the morning, so I'm just going to get the disclaimer now. I wanted to get a Zane video out today, but I'm going to be honest, when I got home, I had a panic attack, and I was not capable of recording until later on in the evening. Shout out to Cade for calming me down. So, I'm planning on either uploading it tomorrow or Wednesday/Thursday, so you will get it later on in the week, so don't worry, it is coming. And it is one that people have been asking from me for quite a while. See you later, guys. Bye. Oh my god, I've been recording for 52 minutes.